Hey everybody, it's me, Froggie, and welcome back to another episode of I Love Froggie. This week tonight we're gonna have Walking Dead Season 11, the final season, guys. Part 1 of a 2-part story. Yep, you heard me. It's a 2-parter. And surprisingly, these are both 60 minutes, really long episodes. And I gotta say, I am really excited to tell you about this. It starts off with a group with Maggie, Carol, and Daryl. Yeah, they run. I don't know why, but I just said that way. But anyway, they're sneaking into Fort Connors, and they want to retrieve maybe some MREs stuff. So they have to lure it in from the ceiling, from the skylight. They're luring in. They got this old pulley system, which is really kind of cool. They're being lured in, and so they can get in there. They're being really quiet because there's a bunch of dead bodies on the ground. And this is kind of crazy because as they lower down, you notice that they're actually walkers. They're actually animated, but they're not. Apparently, they're dormant. So, after 11 seasons, they finally said, you know what? When there's no humans around, now we know. They just lay on the floor and play dead. It's crazy, you know, right? I mean, this isn't the first time we've seen some of this. Army of the Dead has done this before as well. In the movies that came out last year, or earlier this year, I should say. Yeah, it's so they're in there, they're sneaking there, and they're basically going in there, walking through, and they're just trying to be careful not to make any noise. And it's a really intense, like, the first 15 minutes. So you really need to be you know, you're almost kind of like you clench your own butthole because you don't want to you feel like you're right there with them. You just get so sucked into this thing. It is crazy. So after that, you know, they're in there, they find the MREs, and they're lifting the bags up for the pulley system. Daryl's on top, up there with everything. Carol and a few others are down there. I forget their names, but they're just grabbing stuff as they, as they're pulling up one of the couple bags up, one of the ropes gets cut, and Daryl basically quickly grabs on, cat like reflex, and he grabs the bag. Only thing is he cuts himself. So, and a blood drop just you watch it slowly. It's like those who remember the Sam Raimi with Spider-Man, and then he's on the ceiling and a drop of blood falls down and it falls on the floor and then Goblin hears it. Well, yeah, kind of the same thing, kind of slow motion, zooming in on there, and the blood falls down on the walker's face, and then this wakes the walker up. And then they all start getting up. So all of a sudden it's like crazy because they're like, the other people, I forgot her name is, but her sister is the one that was trapped in the mines, because of Carol and stuff. She went deaf herself, and she's almost deaf. All of a sudden, her and the other girl, and Yumiko's girlfriend, they see the walkers getting up, and they get scared, and so everybody's trying to get back up, and it looks like Carol's the last one, and she's about to get up. Okay, they're using the M16s on the ground. Some of them still have clips. They're just shooting the zombies left and right. They're coming a wave after wave. I mean, there's a lot in here. They're just all laying on the ground. Probably like 50 guys or more. And yeah, Carol quick grabs the last bag of MREs, and at the last minute she gets pulled up, and then the zombies are just waiting there. They're just blah blah blah. Give us brains. We've been waiting here for how long? By ourselves. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So that was kind of weird. I mean, I personally don't like the idea. I mean, I think zombies would just walk into the point where they don't get enough tissue. They just rot and fall apart. We've seen this before where zombies, they deteriorate and they can't move. So that was just kind of weird. I wasn't expecting that. But hey, if they want to say that, go ahead. That's their show. The show is ending anyway. So we have 2 other shows. Walking Dead World Beyond, which is the final season. And then we also have Fear the Walking Dead, which is still going on. So yeah, after that, they get back to camp. They hardly got any MREs, so it's not enough. The bag lasts for food for maybe a week or 2. And then Maggie comes in. She's like, well, I have an idea. I know where we get some food, but it's going to be dangerous. And of course, while they're in the thing, and Negan's kind of the back. They dragged Negan along because apparently, as Negan even points out, you would have brought me along because you guys can't read a freaking map. You guys are hopeless. You're a joke. And Negan, I guess, comes off as a dick a little bit, but with good reason because Maggie's leading the crew. And she's leading them through this underground subway tunnel. And the subway tunnel is basically it's just stormy outside. It's like a freaking hurricane or something. I don't know what's going on, but they need to go underground. And as Negan hears the echoing, the ground shifting, and then he notices that he looks, ever at the wall, and the wall is pretty much it shows wet marks, He's like, dear God, this place is flooded before, He's like, because and people are like, what's that? He's like, because they hear a really loud noise, and basically, somebody in the group asks, what's that? He's like, Negan says, that's God telling us we need to go back. We don't know if this tunnel is blocked or even opens out. We could just get trapped in here. This is a bad place to be. They only have flashlights too. Yeah. And of course, because Negan said that, little Gabriel, the priest, kind of a snotty response says, well, gee, if God was talking, I think he would have talked to me first before you, Negan. Like he's almighty. Because remember, he's the one that locked his people inside the church, or outside of the church, and just let them pretty much get eaten because he was a coward. So he's not, he didn't go around purposely murdering people, but he was a coward. So, I mean, he's got blood in his own hands. So I just find it ironic, it's a guy, he's struggling with his faith, but, it's still like, this saying, well, I can't forgive Negan, blah, 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 because he killed Glenn. And like, dude, Glenn wasn't in with you guys, when this happened. So at least I don't think he was. Anyway, moving along, they go, as they keep walking down through, they come across these body bags. And this is kind of creepy. There's all these body bags, plastic bags with bodies in them, and they're all laying on the floor. There's like tons of them, and I forgot who said it, but somebody said like they must have been here during the fall, like 10 years ago, and they just kind of threw the bodies down into the ground in the subway tunnel. And as they get close, one of the bodies, wakes up. They're all walkers in there. They haven't been killed. They haven't been shot and stabbed in the head. So they're all reanimating, but they're still there. And it's kind of, and Maggie's like, well, we're just going to soldier on. And like, Negan is not liking this, Negan being the most rational person. I got to say, for those who hate Negan is pretty much on line with Rick. Because as far as smarts go, Rick caught him off guard with the whole thing, with the throat cut. But apart from that, we saw that Negan was pretty much organized. So yeah, rational. Anyway, so yeah, they press forward, and they're like, she's like, just keep stabbing the bodies, we'll press forward, and Negan's like, okay, whatever, I don't have really a choice, because so they keep going, and as they're going through, one of the kids in there, and this is a kid who basically was that attacked Lydia, him and his family. He's the only one left, I believe. I think his mom's dead, and I think his brother's dead too. From unrelated events earlier in the seasons. So he's in there, and he kind of, he's going through, and all of a sudden this big old giant, like fat zombie, and I apologize to anybody who's fat, but I can't help it. That's what this guy was, and I don't think the Walker cares anymore because he's pretty much dead, but it's kind of funny, there's a fat zombie in there, it's bloated. I'm thinking, how long has he been down there that he's still dead? You think he would have just rotted off, but yep, remember, suspend your belief. Anyway, so he attacks the kid, and Negan quick comes in and saves him with the crowbar, and this makes him smash the head in. And then after Negan's on, he's like, and Maggie basically says, "Oh, we better keep an eye." So he's like, "Keep it," and Negan's like, "Keep an eye out." The kid almost died, and none of you fuckers basically give a shit about this. I apologize my language, but that's what they are. They don't give a care. They don't care about anybody but themselves. The kid almost died. So as they, going through, all of a sudden, the kid does not like this. He kind of, as they keep going through, he kind of cowers out, and he leaves with their stuff, with their extra ammo bag. But not just him, another guy leaves too. So as this happens, they leave, and all of a sudden, as they're clearing through, they start hearing noises. Blah, blah, blah. Turns out it's zombies. There's more walkers. They call them walkers. I still call them zombies. They're coming. There's a whole bunch of coming down from where they were. So basically, and then as they're going through, they come across a train. One of the last train cars that's still there, and they can't get the door open. And while this is happening, everybody's trying to climb up, get over. Daryl's dog runs around it, growls, and Daryl has to chase after him. He climbs under the car. And holy crap, and that's that's when we get to see, like we see, I'll say this part though. I want to point out, while this is going on, before we get to the last scene, Eugene, Princess, and the king, Ezekiel, and Tomikio, I think her name. I apologize. They're going basically, they're going through process, and this is, for those who don't know this is the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth group is pretty much was the big baddies in the end of comic books. They're this advanced society, and they pretty much, the difference is that in the comic book, they had Michonne was with them instead, and Michonne was basically led into the group because, well, why? Because she knew somebody out, she recognized me on the wall, and instead, because they don't have Michonne here, because Michonne, the actress left the show, they had to swap out people. And I don't know if they would have kept, showing in this part, but it's yeah. Yumiko is her name. Yumiko recognizes, and she sees that her brother's on this wall. This is after they tried sneaking out. I'll point this out. I apologize. They were sneaking out of the camp because they were afraid. They saw this other couple have been there for, they don't know how long they've been in there, and Eugene's freaking out and stuff. You think they're gonna get killed. They're all, and so two of them are dressed up as basically as these guards, and it's basically like, if you think about it, it's like this old Star Wars, this old Stormtrooper bit, for two of them are dressed up as Stormtroopers, escorting the prisoners, going through processing, and I gotta point out, these guys, for those who remember the last season, these guys do look like Stormtroopers without the helmets. Well, they do have helmets on, but they're not the same. But they have the plastic on, so they can't get bit. So yeah, so anyway, as they're gonna escape out, Yumiko recognizes that there's board and missing, and she sees her brother in there, and she's like, "Wait, guys, I can't." So at the very last minute, they all decide, you know what, to go back, sneak back in. So, and pretend like nothing happened. So okay, that's what they were doing over there, because they're pretty much, and this is kind of cool. As the whole group was being integrated, they started using cutscenes. Well, not cutscenes, but like forget what they're called, where they have all four scenes together, people, four corners. You see them all at the same time answering questions. It was kind of Brady bunching. Yeah, that was kind of cool for that. Because I hate when you get, my biggest thing is I'm like, we're going to show you what this person's doing. And then next episode, this is what this person was doing. I hate the freaking flashbacks, just show it all in real time. It's all one episode. I understand they want to stretch it out, but it drives me nuts. All right, so back to the big finale of this part one. As the zombies are coming up, Negan climbs up onto the subway train on the very top, and we see Maggie. She's the last one. She's firing a gun. And she's running, and she gets up, and then she gets up. She's not tall enough, and she's hanging on, and her fingers are about to slip. We see Negan just kind of like looks at her, and he's all silhouetted in the dark. He's just quiet the whole entire time, like a badass, because he knows that she's gonna kill him, if she gets a chance, and none of them will bat an eye. He even called her on this before, and she said, "Well, no, death's too good to you. I won't kill you." And so this is him basically saving his own ass, and as she needs his help, instead of giving a hand, he just kind of ducks away and just goes, "Nope, too bad." So yeah, this was kind of crazy. That's only part one. Holy crap. I just want to say, if you're not watching this episode, or even the series, those who left, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a great Negan. If you read the comics, he is pretty much exactly the same. A little less talking about, how big his cock is and all that stuff, but yeah, that's what it is. And I gotta say, oh yeah, I want to point out, that's not sorry. There's so much in this episode. I completely forgot about this. The main guy here, Mercer, he's different from all the other stormtroopers from the Commonwealth. He's the head guy. He wears orange. And he is just like in the comics. Pretty much, he is a stone cold badass too. So, for those of you who haven't are watching this, get into this. This is a perfect jump-in point, especially for the end. They kind of do a little recap each season when you come back in. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say about this. And if you liked what I'm doing, leave $1 in our Ko-Fi link, that'll be in the description. And because we need the money if we want to keep doing awesome stuff like this, because we also do read comic books on here as well. We do live readings sometimes, usually on Sundays, and then usually on Tuesdays as well, and sometimes Fridays. So if you're enjoying our content, please leave a like, and please subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every single time when we go live, because we like to go live and we like to hang out and just talk about all nerd stuff. So also check out, if you're a fan of the CW stuff, we got a bunch of CW reviews on here too as well. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. See you later. Bye.